I feel like my life is going to be forever consumed by this game. Oh, here we go again. Hello, my fellow tarnished! Welcome to the next massive Elden Ring update, patch 1.04, and I'm not joking, there is an absolutely huge list of changes. Massive amounts of balances, loads of buffs, loads of nerfs, loads of fixes. A lot of it is kind of minor, kind of little stuff that needs exploring and testing, and we may find a few gems, and we will bring you all of them over the next hours. But for now, here are your headlines. First and foremost, the Carian Retaliation bug that was one-shotting people with invisible blades has indeed been fixed, which is going to make PvP a lot better. Outside of that, then, we have had the ridiculous amount of madness build up, toned down. It takes longer to build up, and your actual time spent being madness is lesser, and indeed, it seems a lot of the oppressive current PvP shenanigans have been toned down, which is really, really nice.
Okay, but why though?
Hey. And of course, it's important to what?
Hey.
What?
Hey.
What?
Hey there,
Oh.
hey.
Okay, fine, Rivers.
I totally survived.
Yeah, it would seem that Rivers of Blood and indeed Bleed and Arcane Bleed and Seppuku stacking in general has completely managed to survive the patch, which is a little bit disappointing to say the least. That said, the animation length of being bled and frostbited has been decreased, which will definitely help the PvP side of things because it really was excessively long, but we have retained our boss melting chain bleeding death sticks for whatever that's worth. It's not the end of the world really, but I am definitely surprised that Arcane survived. At least it did for weapons. The Arcane Seal and the Arcane Glintstone Staff have had their contribution on build-up reduced respectively, so nothing too crazy going on there anymore. Definitely more of a shame for the Incantation, as nobody really used the Glintstone Staff anyway, but definitely important to mention. As is Colossal weapons! Yes, they have received a massive across-the-board boost. Their blocks have gone up, the actual damage of them has gone up when you're two-handing, so they're trying to encourage actually using just a single one with both hands. The attack speed have gone up, the recovery time have gone up. Basically, the strength bros are going to be pretty happy here, on top of raising the damage of some select ones like the Crafted Blade and Devourer's Scepter. So that's really, really cool. Hell, and we've even got higher FP and stamina growth as you increase and get higher level in them, allowing us to do even more shenanigans requiring both high FP and stamina. We have had massive sorcery changes and buff across the board. Sorry, I was reading the buff to Randy's Dark Moon at the time. But don't worry, I will go over all the sorcery specifics very, very soon for you guys, as I'm sure you're expecting. Incantations, however, have received a massive across-the-board buff. Decreased FP cost, decreased stamina cost, speed casting increased, recovery time increased, and a lot of kind of, honestly, really bad garbage incantations like the Black Flame stuff, like the Faith into Rings of Light stuff, a lot of the Pure Fire incantations. They've all been given a little bump to actually make them, you know, usable now, which is really awesome because they're awesome incantations. They have just generally been made so much more potent, and that is absolutely fantastic. Inescapable Frenzy has been nerfed to not bugged and use your right-handed weapon damage, but in general, incantations, well, are back on the menu, boys, which is really, really cool. The only ones that have really seen a nerf is Swarm of Flies for Blood Loss, because of course, and the Frenzy stuff, because Frenzy was ridiculous, because of course. And then Ashes of War, so many of them have received a buff in the form of decreased casting time, reduced FP, basically just a massive metric ton to go through and experiment with and tinker and see if any have suddenly risen to the top. Nothing stands out as, oh my god, this is going to get ridiculous, outside a shout out to all my Albinariac brothers and sisters who are now going to know death at an even greater rate. I mean, why, but it is nice that a lot of these underused ashes and weapons with them are going to suddenly be worth using. And of course, we have got more patches questline for us to explore. Yes, indeed, that is nice and hidden, and we will be bringing you that too. So the TLDR basically is Colossal weapons, big strong now, Incantations, big strong now, Sorceries, a little bit stronger, a lot of underused Ashes of War, big strong now, Arcane Bleed survived outside of the stagger length, the PvP breaking bugs have been fixed, and all in all an absolutely 10 out of 10 solid patch with so much to tinker with, explore, experiment, and builds to be made. So get excited! Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more, and until we meet again, goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.